Hey guys, this is Rich from OTF Garage. All right, we've got the truck all done with primer. I've done all the spot putty. It's all been sanded out smooth. I recorded a little bit of it. I didn't want to bore you guys to death with that stuff. So I put a little bit on there and that's it. But it's all been sanded down. Now it's been reprimed with a high build primer. And I put a light guide coat on it because this is where I'll do the guide coat. We'll get all that done, but it came out looking good. And this should show any other pinhole that's left, which I didn't see any. I looked really hard at it. But we'll see after we get that sanded out. All that's been welded up on the outside, it's all welded on the inside, so all that can be ground. I did not get to doing body work on it. I ran out of time that day. But that is all finished up. It needs to be ground, but it was warm out. It's warm out today, so I wanted to get the primer done. That can come later. But we're not going to do this sanding right now. I'm going to let this stand a little bit, and I am going to jump over here because I also did the bumpers. The bumpers have been reprimed again. Did a tiny bit of spot putty on them. Reprimed them. So now what I'll take them down to about a 500 grit. I might do an 800 wet sand. The better you get this sanded down, the better your result on your mold, because you don't want to have it too rough so it sticks in any of the sanding grooves, because it'll stick in sanding grooves even if you wax it. So what I'll do is I'll bring them down. I might go 800, I might not. I might do 800 dry. And you know, this stuff kind of doesn't really matter as long as you get it good. Anything like this is going to be filled. I'll put some clay in that. Doesn't have to be perfect. So just put a little bit of clay and that kind of stuff. Even this, you can put clay in that. As long as it's not a bad spot. Like this, I broke it. But this is going to be cut off here on my piece when I make it. So it's not on the exhaust system. So I'm not worried about that. I'll just put some packing tape over the top of that. But now the next part of this is to get them sanded up, and then we start turning them into a mold by, if you're trying to do it like this, most of the time it'll get stuck on this edge because you know you got the fiberglass rolling down, rolling over. So what I do is I take a piece of wood. This is just an example piece. It's not cut to anything, but I put a piece of 1/8 inch wood or what the heck's that stuff called? Oh, the brown board that you could buy. Tempered board, I think it's called, or something like that. Sometimes I'll use that, but I got a lot of this laying around in scrap, so I will use this. And just go around the whole outside of it. Give yourself about 1 inch or 2. That way you can run the fiberglass down onto this piece of wood, and you don't have to worry about it getting stuck to your piece. And then the next part I'm going to have to do is, once all that's done, I got the outside done, then I have to figure out where I'm going to take and put a seam in them all, because they're all going to have to be 2-piece, 3-piece molds. So I will take a piece of this and I will hot glue it on one side and give myself a seam area. So one side will be finished, one side won't be. Get that all fiberglassed up. Then you take the piece of wood off, and then you'll have that piece of fiberglass standing up here, and then you finish out this area with the fiberglass. And then before you break it loose, you drill a bunch of screw holes in it, bolt holes, and you bolt it together and then break the mold apart. So you'll have a 2-piece mold. This one should be a 2-piece, should work good. Front bumper will be a 3-piece. There'll be, probably do it here maybe, or up here. Probably up here, because otherwise I'd have to jog the mold that way. This is straight. I'll put one here. That'll come all the way around the side here. So that's 1-piece, 2-piece. There'll be a split right here in the center. So that'll be the 3rd piece. And then I might have to do one down here to get this to come off easy. So I put it up here like this. So that would be a 4th piece. It might work with it being a 3-piece. I do have enough pitch in that, I think. Because the whole thing is you can't have it, you cannot have the mold as like a box or something. The material will get stuck, like on this block here. If you're gonna do this piece and like the side pieces on both sides, well, it would get stuck on the finger grooves and you wouldn't be able to get it out. Or if you're just doing this rolled edge and this edge and this edge, you wouldn't be able to get it out of there. So you gotta have some way to get it out. So something like this, you'd break it in half there. And for something like this, if you're going over this edge, you'd wanna have a seam like here, so you can get that edge off and then break these two off. So it's a little complicated, but it works. I've got, you look up there, there's a whole pile of them. That is a kit I made for a Mustang. And some of them, I think my front bumper is 4 pieces on that one. I've got trunk lid pieces up there. I got valances. I got an engine cover for a Coyote. All that stuff's handmade. But that's what we'll do. We'll get on those things, get those done, give that stuff a little chance to dry out all the way. Because it is pretty humid today, of course. So it's going to be a tiny bit sticky to try to sand that stuff. So let's get on these things, get them ready to go. You notice I've got them anchored to my benches here so they can't fall. They're both tied down really good. And we'll just build them right on that. It's always a hard part of these things is trying to make the mold because you got to try to hold it some way. So this is the best way to hold them. But let's get on doing these things, get them finished up so we can get some bumpers made. Now, I've gone and got all the bumper stuff sanded up. I did take it to a 500 dry. I don't see any really bad scratches in anything. So I am going to next grab some compound, and I'm going to go ahead and compound these real quick. And that should show me if there's any scratches. It's just a normal cutting compound on a little, it's just on a little wool pad, little 3-inch wool pad. I got a little buffer that I use. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and I'll buff these out real quick. It'll show me if there's any bad scratches. If there's no bad scratches, we'll go right on to starting to put the edges on so we can start doing some mold making. Pretty fun little process. So let's get these done. Ready to make some molds. I can't wait to see them on the truck as real bumpers instead of molds. Okay, we got them all washed up, got them polished, and they look really, really good. I don't see any scratches in them that would be of significance. So I think they are ready to go. It all looks real good. And so you don't have to worry about stuff like this that's popping through any area where the Bondo or spot putty's coming through. Don't even have to worry about it. Like the fiberglass here, as long as there's no hole for the stuff to get stuck in, it's good to go. Because they're only a plug for a mold. So you don't have to worry about that. Some of them I've done. See this here, that's got to be filled with some clay. I'll get clay down in that one, right there. One here too, get some clay in there. Clay will fill it up to where it won't grab a hold of it. Oh, there's a scratch there too. Other than that, they are pretty good. With stuff like these screw holes right here, I'll just put some clay down inside those so it doesn't get attached to those. Now, next part is to start putting the edges on it so we can start the mold process. So let's do that part now. All right, I am ready to start gluing on my edges here. And what I did is I ran around with a piece of wood and I went and cut pieces and I numbered each one to where it goes. So all you gotta do is, stick them in as it's going so it doesn't get away from you. It's a hot glue. Instead of stopping and having to cut every single time, get them all pre-cut, the ones you can. There's 1 all the way to 10. And what I do is like this area here, I'll come back and fill that in, because then you can glue these two together right here. You can round this off with the sander so it's not a sharp corner, because you want to avoid really sharp corners. Even on a mold, you want to avoid having sharp corners on it. So I'll take these, and this way when this one's underneath here and goes past, this one will butt into it, and you can glue that together. So that makes it strong. Everybody's glued to everybody. So you won't have them falling off as you're doing it. But I went around and did all of them that I could do. I couldn't do this one. We'll fill that one in, but like this one here, that one's done. This one's done. This one here is made. So we'll run around and we'll stick all these ones on there, and then we'll go back and fill in all the holes. So we'll get this first one started here. And right here's my number one. So, pretty simple little job here of this. Get them in there. Just the one thing you want to avoid is trying to make a lump. Try to keep the lumps out. That's that in there. Oop, a little bit there. What I'm gonna do is grab a little scrapey board here. Scrape that off there. Just like that. And then run some glue in the little seam here, just for extra strength. Don't have to do the whole thing, but most of it. It's the more you use, the less you got to worry about it coming off. So there's that one. Then we'll jump to number two. And it goes so much faster when you do it that way. This one here is going to have that little cut. Right, so we take the jigsaw from here. Where's the pencil? Put that up there. Hold it basically like that. Line on there. Now just trim this little piece off here. Doesn't have to be perfect or beautiful, just like that. Because then when we get all this on there, what I do is I'll put packing tape on the bumper itself, about a 1/2 inch, and then the rest down onto my piece of wood. Because that'll keep it from sticking to this wood without having to go through a bunch of priming and sanding and all that kind of stuff. Packing tape, cardboard, and thin wood like this. It's the greatest things you could use for making stuff like this. But you just want to make sure you have it behind. You don't want to have it in forward. And the best part of it, most of the time it'll leave a little line in your mold. When you take it apart, you'll see that area. So you have a good trim point to start with. You don't have to guess on where you start trimming at. Just like that. And then area like right here, we just take one of these little pieces that's left and glue it behind this one. because there's nothing there that's gonna be there to support it. So this will support that. Just like that. Done. You just gotta run around, do this whole thing. Well, this part will be ready, and then we'll figure out where to put the seam at to make the two-piece. You're ready to go? I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Okay, I've got this thing all done. They both have their little lips on them. This little lip is just made so I can run the fiberglass off this, and I have a place to cut it. So see, now I can cut this when I get the mold all done. You cut it off about right there. You don't have to worry about it getting stuck to your mold. It's all the way around that one. It's all the way around this one. Slide this one back out here. Now the next thing to do to them is figure out where I want to put my brake line in them. This one here, I was looking at it before. Let's slide it over here. And what I'm doing this one, because you not only got to figure out how to hold it to make it into a mold, but that the fiberglass is going to stick. You can't have it to where it's upside down because you won't be able to get it to stick. It'll fall off on you. You don't want that in a mold that you're making. So what I've figured out here is that if I put it right through here, this would be one seam on that one. The seam will come through here and go up onto here and then across here. So this will be one, and then this will be one. This piece will be part of this. I don't know if I'll connect these two. I might just take this and cut through like that so that these two are connected. Because you need this on here for this piece, because this is the mounting flange. This is the outside, the pretty side that you're going to see. So this will be the bottom piece right here, which would be the main mold part. This will all be one piece all the way through there. And then same thing over here. We got to do the little jog in it and down that side. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because if this rolls over here, you need to be able to get it on that spot. So if I take this, when I get it done, I can whoa, okay, here in the middle. Yeah, I can make it so it stays just like this. Makes it real easy to go all the way around it. Get that set up like that at an angle. So, and then when this piece is dry, then we can lay it down and we can do this piece and this piece. So nobody's hanging up in an area where you won't get it. So that's why I don't know if I should do that. If I should go through here. This is kind of the difficult stuff when you get a spot like that, because now this piece would be hanging down, so it might come off there. This one, because normally you don't have a lip on top like this, so you usually don't have to worry about that. But because I've got that lip, because I don't want that gap in the tailgate, it makes it a little more complex. Because normally I would just do it right here, because you'd have this piece and then you'd have this piece. So it would be pretty easy. But this, because this is on here, you got to have it to where you can lay that down enough to get it on there. So not real bad, but only on the mold part. Once you get it, the mold made, then you flip it over and do the bumper itself, or the valance itself. It's not real hard, because you could put these on after. You know, you can get a whole piece made and then come in and fill these back in later when it's in the mold. But that's my plan, is to run it through there. Get that. I guess I will run it to this edge over here, like that. So I just don't want to have that piece hanging down there like that. We'll just go through here. That's just kind of one of those things you got to figure it out. Study it again. I'll go over it before I go start doing it. And then like the front bumper here, I'll do it on this one right here, this area, like that. Because I can set it down. I can do this one here all the way across. And that'll make my top. I will do a joint. Right, where's my, I don't have the pencil line there. I'll do a joint like right here for the bottom. So that piece will come off, so you'll be able to take this piece off. We'll have a joint right here in that area, like that. So top will come off. And then you got the one right there. So that'll be this piece. And then you got that. So this one's gonna be a little more difficult, but I could make this with another one. I could go through here. Probably have to do that anyway. Go through there and make this one another piece. So that's what we'll do. We'll start laying these out, get that part done, and then they're ready to go. I can start getting them ready to make into a mold. All right, we've got the bumpers and the valance in the booth now. They're almost ready to go to start turning them into a mold. So what I've got here now is I've got all my edges on. These are break points right here. Break point comes over here. And then there's one here. There's one there. And then there's one there. And it's the same on the other side. So this will be easy to get apart when it's made, and easy to put a mold together when you're making one. Now I put packing tape on the edges of all the wood so nothing gets stuck in the fiberglass. I can bust that off and then butt the fiberglass up to the other fiberglass to make that bolting edge. So these are both ready to go. And what I've got over here, so I've already started claying this one. You want to get in there and you want to clay that edge so you don't have a gap between your mold surface. And you see some of the little gaps and stuff. So we want to get clay down inside of all those. The better you get it, the better your mold's going to be. I still got to clean that little spot up. But try to get it nice like that. You'll have really nice edges. And then this piece here has got tape on it, which is the bottom. So that doesn't need any, because I ran the packing tape right up onto it. So it doesn't need any clay. The only place you need clay is areas where there's a gap or a spot that you did not get it really tight. This side here is the one I'm going to do first. This will be one. I'll take this off, and then this will be number 2. And then I'll stand it up when it's dry, and then I can do this one. So that'll be number 3. And then I can stand it all the way over, and I can do that one. So that makes that ready to go. Pretty easy to do. And it's easy to hold because I got my little thing I made for my table. It was on there. And I took the rest of it apart and mounted it to my table so it won't move. This one's mounted to my table too. So this one's the same way. This will be my first one. Get that. I still got to go around and clay it. We'll go ahead and clay this one up. And then we can lay it down. We can do that one, or we can stand it up and do that one. This one here runs all the way around. So that takes care of that piece. So they're basically ready to go. All we got to do is finish claying them up, and then we can wax them. I've tried waxing them first before I put the strips on it. It makes the strips not want to stick because the hot glue doesn't like to stick in the wax. So I've just changed how I do it, and I go ahead and I get all the strips on it and everything, and then wax it all in that little spot that you're going to do. So I'll go ahead and I'll wax this one out, tape everything off because you don't want the gel coat getting on everything. You just want it on the one that you're doing. Let that cure up enough and then start putting fiberglass into that. And then we'll jump over here and do this one. So that's how it's going to go. Hopefully we can get it done today. It all depends on how the weather is. Right now, today it's really humid, so it might take a little longer to dry. But I can go ahead and finish claying this up. If I end up not being able to get it done, I'll go find something else to do. I got my Reese hitch, so I'll be able to get the Reese hitch on. But I'll try to keep this one as one video. So let's get the clay on there. Get this one ready to go. All right, I've got these ones ready to go. I ran around them, cleaned them up, and then I put 2 coats of wax on them. Got them nice and clean. So they're basically ready to go. Got wax up on the tape. Made sure not to ruin my clay mark here. But those are ready to go now. So the next part is you spray on Pardol. This is like spraying on a plastic bag over the part. And you want to put enough of this on there that it's like a glossy finish. It'll kind of turn green. And everything comes off really easy when you do that. And then you just wash that stuff off. It's a water base, but you got to spray it on. And I just use a cheap spray gun to put it on. It works good. So that's what we'll do next. Get that done, and then it's ready to make them into molds. Now we're ready for the big moment to start. I've got the Pardol all sprayed on here. You notice how green it is. You see it's a little shiny. It's almost like a satin clear coat. It's basically what it is. It is a plastic bag over the top of my part. So when I go to put this next step on, the gel coat, it'll come off there a lot easier. And the green stuff will be either stuck to this or it'll be stuck up on the mold, or both. It'll just peel right off, and then you just wash it and the stuff disappears. It's pretty cool. It's kind of it's a water-based, alcohol-based product. So now the next thing we do is get out. Next thing we'll do is we'll get on to orange tooling gel coat. This stuff here, mainly what this does is so you can see the difference in color from your part to the mold. It kind of makes it a little bit easier to see the difference between the two, because I don't use gel coat on my finished product. There's no reason to. Gel coat is basically paint for fiberglass. Like boats and stuff, that's why you don't paint them, because they're gel coated. So there's no need to put any kind of gel coat on my part, because my part's not going to see sun. It's going to be primed and put right on the truck or whatever vehicle I'm working on. So there's no exposure to sunlight or anything like that. So I don't even bother using gel coat anymore. It's kind of a waste, and if you don't get it thick enough, it'll lift. So I don't use it anymore. I've had a lot of success making parts without it. And plus you're going to body work over the top of it, because these aren't going to be perfect. Like any fiberglass part, they don't come out perfect. They get waves and stuff in them. So you can body work right over the top of that, get the body work done on it, prime it up, you're done. Finish it up with the vehicle. So let's get on to putting the gel coat on all these pieces, and then we can start laying some fiberglass into it. To put the gel coat on, I don't brush it on. You're supposed to spray the stuff, but you can brush it. So I have this nifty little gel coat gun, and it doesn't work very good. I don't know, it won't spray very good. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I've tried changing O-rings, I've tried everything I could do. So I don't really use that. What I use is a undercoating gun. This worked great, very easy to clean. Unlike that, it's pretty hard to clean that thing. So I just use this, spray it on, a little lower pressure, and it works great. Great little tool. So let's get the gel coat on there, get making some pieces. there is this side done. This is the next day. Oh, it came out pretty good. Couple air pockets in there, not too bad. Little ones. That one is done there. This one here. This has got chop mat on it, and then it's got a biaxle over the top of it. This stuff is really strong. So it's got some air pockets in it. It's hard to get the air pockets out of this one, but for what it's doing, it's fine. Well, it came out looking pretty good. So now I need to break off. Let's see, which way am I going to go on this one? I think I'm going to do the bottom piece here. I'll do this one here, so I'll have to take this one off to get in there. And then on this one, we just need to get the center out, and we'll do this side over here. Get this one done. So that's what we're going to go after. I know about the color and the lines that keep going through the camera. I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. I had a bunch of light bulbs burn out the ballast, so I changed the bunch to some LEDs. So I'm having a problem with the cameras doing the lines and stuff, but I'm trying to figure that out, get them straightened out. I know the color's gone wacko too. We'll get that figured out one of these videos, but what do? I never had 4 lights burn out at the same time within 2 weeks of each other. But we'll get that figured out. So it quits doing that. I know it's a little annoying to watch, but we'll fix it. All right, it's the next day of making the mold. We've got these ones all done. They're all cured up. Ready to start doing the lower ones here, or which would be the upper. The mounting flange and the outside of this part, and then we'll do that lower piece in that one. Oh no, lower piece over here. Wrong one, yeah, that one. Top piece here that goes underneath the tailgate. And that one will be pretty much done. I'll be able to start making the mold on that one tomorrow after all that stuff is cured up. And then on the front one, we've got both the lower pieces done on this one. This one's all cured up now. So the next one I'll do is I will do this one here. I'll get that one done. I don't know if there'll be enough time today to get to this one. So I have one piece left to do on it tomorrow. And then this one will be done. But we'll be able to get on making this lower valance tomorrow when we do the lower piece on this one. And then we'll get on that one the next day. So knocking them out. A couple more days here, we'll have a bunch of parts to be able to put on the truck. And then we get the truck finished up, ready for paint. All right, it is the big day for the back valance panel. There it is. It is all finished up. So this one is all ready to be turned into a bumper, valance, whatever you want to call it. The thing I got to do now here is I have to go through and I have to drill bolt holes and all this before I break any of this apart. So I'm gonna drill all the bolt holes And then once that's done, I can trim this outside edge and clean it up. And then we'll break that off there. The front one is all done with this part. And we could drill the bolt holes here, cut this off, but we still got to do this one little piece right here. So we'll do this one little piece and we'll start making this back valance for the truck. So let's get on that. I'm anxious to see what it looks like and get the back one on the truck. It's gonna be cool. All right, let's do it. There it is. It is all trimmed up, bolted up. So now it is ready to be broke apart. This piece is still on here because it's mounted to a piece of wood. So I got to get it apart to get that out. But we take this, split it open, see how it works. I'm by means no professional at doing this stuff, but I've had really good results making these things. So we'll see. Get these broke apart, see how it turned out. All right, we're ready for the big moment here. I use this dead blow hammer. Just give it a little whack, usually loosen it right up. Don't want to smack on it hard because you could crack it. Because I mean, my molds are not made to a standard of a production shop or something. I make it just enough that it'll work. You could go and you could make the thing super thick. But I don't see a purpose to make it that thick right now. Because there's ways you can put, you know, ways to stand the thing up and work on it on a bench. Come on. Ooh. Oh, I didn't cut all the way through right there. Ouch. My gloves on. Gloves, gloves, gloves. Out the way. Go through all that one. All right. All right, that's yeah. That on there. All right. And one doesn't want to agree. You get one of these plastic wedges. It's made for fiberglass work. You just stick it up in there. All right, well, this one's here is locked in that one. Gotta go the other way. Actually, I need to flip it over. Flip. All right, now this one here should pop off the top. But I get it all cut down there. Come on. Let's see, let's get it right there. There's that opening. All right. This here, boom, boom, there it goes. There's one there. See, this is the part all. So it just peels off like a plastic bag. It's pretty cool stuff. And then this one here, I don't know if I got this one cut all the way. Oh yeah, it is. All right, and there's the other piece. Real nice. And then we can take this top one off here. It is still stuck together there. There she goes. There it is. See that one there? The the gel coat went down into the little groove there. Because what happened is it kind of split apart on me here at the top. So this here, this here kind of opened up when I was doing that piece. It's one thing you gotta be careful of, but it's not a big deal. If you just clean this edge up, get it nice, and then any place you have a joint, you need to put a little clay into anyway, so I don't really worry about that stuff too much. That's why I body work these things after I get done. Like I say, I'm no professional at it, but I can make some pretty cool parts out of it. And that's all that matters to me. Fiberglass. That's all that matters. You get a cool part out of it, and you have a piece that you can make quite a few more out of. So get a bunch of other people that want one, you can always make them one. So it pays for itself. Somebody sees my truck and likes it, I could build them a truck too. So that's why I do this. You get enough of them, and you can turn this into a professional style where it's a little thicker. But for right now, this is fine for what I'm doing. I could probably get 5 bumpers and 5 balances out of this without a problem. Maybe 10 if you're careful with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'll get the rest of this apart, and we'll put this back together, clean it up, get ready to start doing this valance and finish up the front bumper. See, this is where it ran down behind it. And what is cool, because it has that part all stuff on it, you spray a little thinner on there, and it wipes it right off. Gone. Never was there. Stuff works good. So, get the rest of that cleaned up. Alrighty. There it is, all put together. This is what one of the molds looks like when it's assembled and ready to go to be made into a piece. Got all the joints clayed up everywhere. It's been waxed, it's been sprayed with the whatchamacallit stuff. My mind went blank. The Pardol, that's it, Pardol, yeah. It's all been sprayed with that. It got a little ripply because I got a little too hot. It's a little too cool for the stuff to dry, so I used my heat gun again. It got a little too hot, but that's fine. For what I'm doing, it's fine. It'll body work out, not a big deal. You see, I've got it all the way up there. The way I'm gonna do this is I'll do this bottom part, and I will do these sides to about halfway, this way, to about halfway. Somewhere in here I'll stop. And then tomorrow I'll flip it down and do this part, so it doesn't fall off, because I could try to do it, but it might fall off, and I've got that piece there, so might as well do these two at the same time instead of trying to fight it. No reason to get aggravated because the stuff's falling off, or come out tomorrow and the whole thing's falling off. So do it in little steps. It's not a big deal. So this one's ready to go. You get that one started. The front bumper here, this is all ready to go. We've got it all sprayed up, waxed up, and part all on all that. So this one's ready. So next thing we're gonna do, I got all my pieces cut here. I get a little bit of gel coat on this. That'll be ready to go, and we can start putting some fiberglass in these molds. I want to get this done today, kind of running behind a little bit. So I am getting on it right now. All right, here we are. It is the big day to break this one out. We got our first one ready to go.